Welcome to How You Came to Be. Music, movies, television, restaurants, these are a few of the things that members of the multi-talented Wahlberg family have been a part of over the last 3 decades. Donnie found tremendous success as a member of New Kids on the Block, which helped to launch his brother Mark's career in acting and music. They then teamed up with brother Arthur to open 2 restaurants, Alma Nove, a tribute to their mother and her 9 children, and Wahlburgers, which led to the aptly named TV series. But perhaps the seeds to their success began many years ago. Donald Wahlberg Jr., also known as Donnie, was born August 17, 1969. Brother Mark was born June 5, 1971. They were 2 of at least 12 children born to Donald Edmund Wahlberg. Donald served in the Korean War and fathered children during this time before he married Alma Elaine Donnelly, who is the mother of Donnie, Mark, and their 7 siblings. Donald Sr. was born May 8, 1930 in Dorchester, Massachusetts, and worked as a truck driver delivering to local schools. He and Alma were married on November 20, 1965, and divorced in 1982, splitting time with their children. Donald was the son of Axel Simon Wahlberg and Mary Bradley. Axel was born on January 6, 1902 in Boston, Massachusetts. He married Mary on January 31, 1922, and they had 8 children. He worked as an electrical switchman and later an elevator operator. According to his World War II draft card, he was 5 foot 6 inches tall with brown hair and blue eyes, and he is the first World War II veteran I have come across to have a tattoo. Axel Simon was the son of Axel Gustav Wahlberg, who arrived in New York from Ystad, Sweden in 1870. Ystad is on the southern tip of Sweden, and its history can be traced back to the 11th century. Axel Gustav was a jeweler and silversmith who owned a shop in Province Court in Boston. This photograph shows Province Court in July 1901, the exact time of Axel's ownership and just months before Axel Simon was born. It was a busy marketplace full of tradesmen from plumbers to tailors to painters. According to newspaper records from 1902, Axel's 130-year-old shop had an anvil that was used by Paul Revere. However, owning the jewelry shop was not without stress, as it was robbed in 1892, and on February 12, 1907, the Province Court marketplace suffered a devastating fire, where many of the tenants lost everything. It is unclear how much damage Axel's shop sustained, but the stress of the loss must have been immense, as Axel suddenly passed away less than a month later, on March 5, 1907, possibly of a heart attack after contracting rheumatic fever several weeks earlier. Rheumatic fever is the result of an untreated strep throat or scarlet fever infection, and is now very rare thanks to antibiotics. It appears that the stress of the fire, combined with an untreated infection, led to Axel Gustav's sudden death at the age of 63. Axel Simon was only 5 years old at the time of his father's death. There are no photographs of Axel Simon or Axel Gustav, but I was struck by the resemblance between Donald Wahlberg Sr. and his uncle, Alfred Wahlberg. Alfred Wahlberg was Axel Simon's older brother, who moved to California, where he organized the music department at what later became Fresno State, which is where he also served as a music professor. Clearly, the Wahlbergs' musical talents trace back generations. On their maternal side, mother Alma Donnelly was born May 6, 1942, to Arthur Ambrose Donnelly and Leon Floyd Brisebois. This photo shows Alma and her family in the 1950s. Arthur was born in 1907 and worked as a chauffeur until his death in 1957. Arthur was the son of Walter Donnelly, who emigrated from Canada but was of Irish descent. Leon Floyd Brisebois was born in Malden, Massachusetts on January 16, 1915, to Edward Brisebois and Ellen McKittrick. Alma was named after her maternal grandmother, Alma Taylor, who was born in Woburn, Massachusetts in 1871. It is through Alma Taylor that the Wahlbergs can be traced back to some of the earliest English settlers of Massachusetts and to the Revolutionary War. Edward Brisebois was born December 4, 1885 in Winchester, Ontario. He and Ellen were married on September 22, 1923, several years after their daughters Leon and Alma were born. Edward operated a restaurant called Brisebois Lunchroom in Dorchester, which was located here, but has since been torn down. During the Great Depression, Edward offered a free lunch to those who were unemployed on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Day. The Brisebois family can be traced back to René Dubois dit Brisebois, who was born in Poitiers, France on March 27, 1639, and arrived in Quebec by 1658, escaping religious wars in France. He married 19-year-old Julienne Dumont here at Notre Dame de Quebec Cathedral, which was built in 1647. Julianne came to Canada in 1665 as part of the Daughters of the King initiative, which brought 800 poor young women from France to New France to promote marriage and family and increase the population. To that end, Julianne and Renee had 8 children, which was just shy of the 10 children which would have entitled them to an annual payment from the French crown. The Wahlberg family's success is intricately linked to the diverse talents of their ancestors. Great-grandfather Edward Brisebois, the successful restaurateur who gave free meals during the Great Depression, represents not only the family's culinary ambitions, but also the generosity that the Wahlbergs are known for. Donnie participated in the 2020 Tip Challenge, where he tipped his IHOP server $2,020 on his $78 bill. Furthermore, the musical talents of Donnie and Mark lead back to great-uncle Alfred Wahlberg, who developed the music program at Fresno State. The family can be traced back to Sweden, France, Ireland, and England, but lived in Dorchester for 4 generations and participated in the American Revolutionary War, World War I, World War II, and the Korean War. The Wahlbergs truly are what American dreams are made of.